simply this, that the American people, if you look at and listen to what people said in 2010, all right, leading up to the election, is that they're tired of all the same old political rhetoric. They're tired of the same games. They want to see the change that was promised in whatever form they think it should come to them. But they want, again, that's the crux of the debate here.
I'm just asking, what happens to a person? What happens to a person if this plan is enacted who uses the $15,000, which, by the way, if they're in an assisted living facility, they'll go through it in 3 months. You know, what happens to them? What do they do when they use up the $15,000 by this time of the year?
They get inferior care.
What happens for the rest of the year? What happens to them?
They're SOL.
What happens? I'm just asking.
We don't know yet because...
That's right. We don't know.
All right. All right.
Here's the thing.
Look, seriously, can we just have an intelligent conversation without all the noise for a second?
I agree.
I'm serious.
No, I agree with you on that.
Because we don't know. It's just like Nancy Pelosi says, well, we've got to pass the health care bill before we know what's in it. The way Washington has approached these problems has always kind of hit everything off the table.
But this seems pretty black and white. If you have 15 grand to spend and you run out of the 15 grand and you still have more days to live.
It is not the final... I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, and I understand that. But you have to understand that this is just the beginning of a framework. Just as people disagree with parts of what the president has put on the table.
A voucher program. I've listened to you. Okay, now it's my turn. Okay, a voucher program is privatization. A voucher program is going to cheat people in the latter part of their... It will. The care won't be the same.
What proof do you have? What evidence do you have to say that?
You go to a doctor right now, when you're on Medicare, it's paid for no matter what the treatment is. Under your plan, that will not happen. And I am saying something...
How do you know that? How do you know that?
It's in your plan.
How do you know that?
A voucher program will not...
Does it say in the plan it will not...
Well, it's a number,
So you're saying...
Michael.
No, I'm going to get this on record. You're saying that a voucher program is better than Medicare?
It's a number.
Are you willing to say that?
I'm willing to say this if we're going to give it a try and make all the right parameters.
No, we're in it.
Absolutely.
We're in absolute territory.
Okay, all right. I have a final question.
Medicare doesn't work. That's why the American people will want to keep it.
All right. So this, as I mentioned in the monologue, this week was the 105th anniversary of the Civil War. Time magazine had a cover that said, "Why are we still fighting the Civil War?" I'd just like to say, we are not. Nobody here in California ever thinks about the Civil War. Nobody in any state, I mean...
Except for the one between Ed and Michael. Yeah.
There's... Why?
Take this brother out back.
There's one...
He's going to take me out back?
There's one... no, fellas, please. We've never had a fist fight on the show. I'm not going to let it happen.
How about a duel?
But
go back to
there is one part of the country that is still fighting the Civil War. You'd think 150 years would be long enough to get over this shit. And there was a poll last week that said 46% of Mississippi Republicans think that interracial marriage should be illegal. Now, on the heels of the Tea Party always saying that it's not about race with Obama, and I mean, it's hard to make that case if half of them think that people should not even be allowed to intermarry of different races.
So why are you making that connection? If the poll was, I mean, I'm just trying to be clear, if the poll was a certain percentage of Republicans, why are you now saying that the Tea Party, because
they're Republicans.
They're not all Republicans, Bill. They're not.
You're right.
99.999%. No,
really?
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Really? I mean, the Tea Party is not all Republicans?
No, it's not.
What percentage of the Tea Party?
I don't know the exact percentage, but it's not all Republicans. It's not all Republicans.
Yes.
I have been
Is it more than 10%?
What's your point?
My point is the Tea Parties are the Republicans. They can rebrand themselves whatever they want.
The Tea Party is a combination of disaffected Blue Dog Democrats, independents, right-of-center independents, and Republican conservatives.
Bill, I think what may be more relevant perhaps about this poll is, if I'm not mistaken about it, is that those surveyed, most of them were actually over the age of 60. If that's the case, clearly a generation that, you know, is living in the past, and we all know young Republicans, come on, they are not against interracial marriage. Not at all.
Well, they're not denouncing what's being said. Let's call it what it is. These people are stupid and they are racist.
Yeah, absolutely.
wait a second. I got to defend the South for 1 second because
that's right.
I'm going to the South next week. I'm doing 3 dates, 3 different cities in North Carolina. People say, why do you go and do shows in the South? Because I want them to know they're not written off by me.
It's good.
There's a lot of smart people there. They just happen to be surrounded by a bunch of fucking rednecks. But I gotta go. Sorry, we ran out of time. We're gonna make taxi cab confessions late. All right, I'm glad you shook hands there.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you for putting up with us.
Oh, come on, I love you guys.
I know, but that was unmerciful.
I love being here.
Thank you. All right.
Absolutely.
Let's go to New Rule. All right, New Rule. You can't get mad about Applebee's serving a toddler a margarita unless you've ever tried to eat at Applebee's sober. That's right. This week, some kid was served what can only be called a very happy meal. And nobody noticed until he started yelling, "Wait, hold up, this is my jam." Here's how you can tell you're in a bad restaurant. When you call an ambulance and ask it to pick you up around the corner at Chili's. New Rule, stop saying that Mitt Romney's new campaign logo looks like a toothpaste ad. It is completely unfair to take a tube full of artificial goo and compare it to Aquafresh. New Rule, Tyler Perry has to just go ahead and have the surgery. Jesus Christ, man, it's like you're competing with Rudy Giuliani and RuPaul in the I'm Ashamed of My Penis Olympics. New Rule, until America gets back to work, the candy bar Payday must change its name to Unemployment Benefits. New Rule, stop criticizing the company that distributes Braille porn. Why shouldn't the sightless enjoy porn? What, are they going to go more blind? And finally, and you'll like this, liberals have to stop pretending that they absolutely cannot do without the National Endowment for the Arts. Please, ask yourself this. What are you doing right now? Drinking Chardonnay at the Symphony? No, you're high and watching me on TV.
I do like that.
Let's stop kidding ourselves. We're Americans. We don't go to the symphony unless it's outside and includes fireworks. It's 2011. The culture wars are over and culture lost. When Americans think Beethoven, they don't think this. They think this. And also, I must say, providing funding for some people's tastes but not others, that is elitist. Some people like to watch modern dance, the intricate interplay of two gay men's buff bodies in motion. And some people like to watch professional wrestling, the intricate interplay of two gay men's buff bodies in motion. Why is the government deciding whose personal taste is better? And let's be honest, no avant-garde artist, even at their most inspired and depraved, could have challenged us with something as thought-provoking as truck nuts. That pair of giant chrome testicles swinging from a redneck's bumper. Out Mapplethorpe's Mapplethorpe. And it cost the taxpayer nothing. I'm just saying, art is all around us. Now, Democrats and Republicans are currently locked in an epic battle over what gets funded and what gets cut. And Democrats are going to have to cut from some of their pet causes, like art. And Republicans are going to have to give in on some of their pet causes, like tax cuts for billionaires and universal air pollution. So, here's the thing. The National Endowment for the Arts gets a trifling amount of money, 0.0000045% of the budget. But through the miracle of the closed information system that is Fox News, Republicans actually think arts funding is huge. They think public television alone gets 5% of the budget, which would be $180 billion. The actual cost, $430 million. These people should not go on The Price is Right. $180 billion for public TV? Not only do we not spend that kind of money on Sesame Street, we don't spend it on actual streets. So, so I say, let's not tell them. Let's not tell them that the NEA actually costs the average middle-class taxpayer 24 cents a year. 24 cents. Barely enough to buy 7 burritos at Taco Bell. Let's let them go on thinking that the NEA is huge. And then it could be valuable as a bargaining chip, like, you get the NEA, we get to keep the EPA. So Democrats need to bluff this one. Fight for the NEA as if it's the most important, vital program ever. Open the negotiation by demanding that funding be increased from its present 5%, wink, wink, to 10%, including an extravaganza on the Mall tentatively titled Streisand Sings Sean Penn. And a Latino musical, Viva Abortion. And then, at the very last minute of negotiations, cave. Cave. Do what you Democrats do best and fold like the cheap card table you have proven yourselves to be and agree to gut the NEA in exchange for something that's really important. Increasing or decreasing money for the EPA or the National Institutes of Health has life and death consequences. The same cannot be said for truck nuts. All right, that's our show. We're taking a break next week. Join us again on the 29th, April 17th. Oh, that's Sunday. I'll be in South Bend at the Morris Arts Center. I want to thank Michael Steele, Amy Walter, Ed Schultz, Urshad Manji, and Mikio Kaku. Thanks for watching, and keep up with us on Overtime now. Thank you.